Is it 5:10 a.m.? 10 minutes past 5 in the morning? Way before the sun rises. That's right. It's chilly. It's about 56 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's clear skies. It's not windy, it's not rainy, it's not snowing. Just right. For a hoodie sweatshirt. It's going to be 80 degrees come 2 o'clock in the afternoon, p.m., post-meridian. Let's see. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't fall for anyone's drivel. I got a friend, her name is Sybil. 5:10 a.m. See, this is your proof. We've got a few minutes until the first train of the day arrives. Until then, let's talk about some gratitude. So we open up our day with the Gratitude List show. I make my bed the first thing I do, and then I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, I believe the whole indivisible kind of thing, that's the secret recipe that, communists and Marxists have paid attention to over the past 40 years or so. That's what they've been using to erode America. See, after 9/11, I think America scared the shit out of the world on September 12th, 2001. And that was 23 years ago. Yeah, 1.5 generations, perhaps? So, how do we weaken America? How do we make, divide its population politically, culturally? There's like a really great video from an old Russian spy in the 80s who laid down like everything that's going on right now then. Oh, all you need to do is do this and that. That's a bad Russian accent. I know, trust me. Are you going to let the commies win? Are you going to let the Marxists win, our natural enemy? You don't believe in having... Okay. Back to gratitude. Because we get apolitical on Fridays, okay? I wasn't getting political there, no. More like civics and social studies? They don't teach that in school anymore. Good thing, too. Let's keep people dumb. I'm all for it. I'm grateful and blessed. I start off my day with a gratitude list. 8 things in my heart I'm already grateful for as soon as I roll out of bed. I am grateful and blessed for my family, my friends, my faith, my freedom, my health, my union job, a good night's sleep, and a solid breakfast. And from there, I elaborate. I had a good night's sleep. Do you wake up feeling just a little tired? Maybe it's because I'm old now. Or you're old, Sully. You smell old. You look old. You move old. Sure, it happens to everyone. Maybe, if you're lucky enough to live that long. But I got a decent night's sleep. I have no shame. I lay down at 6:30 sometimes. If I'm not asleep by 7:30, see, I get up. My alarm goes off at 3:37. Technically, if I'm not already sawing toothpicks and in dreamland chasing the Sandman, if I'm not asleep by 7:37 p.m., I'm not getting a proper 8 hours sleep. And then you also got to, get into your maths and your algebras and your arithmetics and your calculi. How many times you don't plan on waking up in the middle of the night to go pee, but it happens and nature calls. And for someone of my advanced age, getting back to sleep, like 90% of the time, is a difficult thing. I could be tossing and turning for up to an hour or more. I don't even look at my clock anymore. I don't look at my charging Apple Watch. If I have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I don't turn the lights on. That'll wake me up even more. So I use the flashlight on my iPhone, but what I do is I cover up the top of the phone so I don't see what time it is. Once I go to bed, I don't look at my phone. I don't check Twitter. I ignore my messaging, my texts. I think that's it. I mean, that took some effort. That took some discipline. That took some, mental muscle memory to achieve, and repetition and practice, and resist that urge. And I'm grateful and blessed for that I have the ability to ignore my devices at bedtime. It's going to keep you up. It's a distraction. Go to bed. That's it. You're a child. And mommy's told you the last story. No, it's time to go to bed. Close your eyes. Here's some sand from the Sandman. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's what my mom did. And a kiss on the forehead when I got tucked in. It's been 5 weeks to the day that my mom passed away at the age of 69 from lung cancer, which spread to her liver. And it took her pretty quickly. She told me in early July, and by July 31st, she was gone. Time is one of the most important and precious things we have. How we spend it, how we choose to spend it, what we choose to spend it on, with whom we choose to spend it with. Here comes the train again, training on my head like a baburi, tearing me apart like a new emotion. Here it comes again, here it comes again. Oh, I want to walk in the open breeze. I want to kiss like lovers do. Once you dive into your ocean, is it waiting with you?
Ashmont.
Head on a swivel. Remember that always. We've got 2, 4, 6, 7 people on this train car. We've got 3. Looks like 3 people in the other car. For the first train of the day. We're at
Porter Square.
the second stop, the penultimate stop on the line. So we're the train originates at the terminus at Alewife. This being Davis Square, and then starts its merry way on the Grand Loop here in Boston of the subway system. And it's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day. I'm grateful and blessed for that. It's a touchstone of my culture. It's my hobby. It's my escapism. It's my entertainment. I go to my local comic book shop usually every Wednesday. Wednesday is traditionally the new release day, where I get my new comics in my pull list. I have about 14 different books, magazines, monthly serials. A minimum, so I'm getting like minimum of 14 magazines a month. What am I spending? About 75? But the average cover price is what, $5 now, right? And then there's other stuff on the shelves that deserve to be in the Grand Sully collection. I don't really have a comic book collection per se. I feel as though I have. a funny book accumulation. They accumulate. I've got like 15 short boxes now, and that's a tiny collection. It's like I went through all of them last year. I rebagged, reboarded, and reboxed my entire collection. And most of these comics I hadn't opened in years. I mean, I don't know what the resale value of this stuff. Actually, I have an idea, and it ain't much. And that's a sobering thought. That gives you perspective, and I'm grateful for that experience. That I went out and I learned more about my hobby. I picked up some essential guides, like the Overstreet guides, the Overstreet Guide to Pricing Comics, and the Overstreet Guide to Grading Comics. It was a great journey. You know, it's been about my hobby and about my trade. I'm a tradesman. I'm a professional chef. That my hobby and my trade, I tend to be a student, a lifelong student of this. And I'm always learning about my hobby and my trade. There's so much to learn. I don't know everything. I'm glad not to know everything. I'm grateful and blessed for that wisdom and that realization. And I'm always going to be a student to my trade. And I'm always going to be a student to my hobby. And that's what makes it fun and interesting too. Things I'm learning about at this stage of my life, about comics, I'm trying to learn more about art. I'm really interested in color theory and in color values and how to, you know, the way that an artist can assemble colors on a palette and put them onto a canvas or whatever media that they're using, you know. It's such an interesting journey.
Harvard Square.
Like the way to make the color green. Usually it's yellow and blue make green. But I found it's more of like, a lot of the times it's also like, you know, black and yellow.
The destination of this train
Make green. And how these colors have been being made for hundreds and hundreds of years. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 people now in this car.
Central Square.
And there appears to be maybe about 6 in the other car, maybe 7. And that's just in the final 2 cars of the 6-car subway on the first train of the day. I don't know why. Well, maybe it's all the superhero junk I grew up reading. You know what I mean? You got to be like, okay, there are 13 people in this second car to save, plus the driver. Never forget the driver. You got to save him too, or her, or them, however they identify in this grand spectrum of humanity. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm a sci-fi fan. I believe in the possibility that there are, you know, that humans can grow, change, and evolve. You know, so just this postmodernity. I got into interesting conversations. I'm a huge fan of Robert Meyer Burnett, of the Robservatory, Robservations, the post-geek singularity, and there's a lot of hubbub about J.R.R. Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings, and the postmodern TV show that Amazon's putting out that makes a big deal about modernity, postmodernity, messaging, DEI, you know, all the good stuff that makes all the kids want to show up and watch a fantasy show. And the thing is, they're trying to humanize the orcs to make them lovable and to make them, you know, they're. And a lot of it might have to do with like the unfortunate kind of postmodern luggage. Like they've associated orcs with certain races. There's no such thing as a race. Science has proven that. There are no races. There's one race, the human race. Then there are local geographical deviations to the human race. So it's really, you know, what you perceive as race are basically just localizations of a type of person. dare you say indigenous to that area, But there is one human race. There is no, but that orcs are magically coded to be marginalized communities out of the great leverage battles in the culture wars. It's ridiculous. I mean, orcs are just evil armies of the bad guys. It was simple once, and you had that's the postmodern need to intersect reality into everything, to use everything as a platform for a message, and not as just a story to escape some fantasy. You're a good guy, and you need to fight bad guys. You know what I mean? That's like the only bad guys are those that don't share your ideology. I don't agree to that. But Rob's going on about why are they doing this? My answer was postmodernity. And I literally got about 7 different people saying, you don't know what that means. Or, oh, look at the loser. And I'm like, from just a general statement, being about, well, it's just postmodernity, in a satirical, jokey kind of way. But I do know what postmodernity is. I'm for a high school graduate who did 1 year of college and who would have entered college at the beginning of the postmodern peak, you know what I mean? And then the early 1990s, 3 generations ago, and now we have 3 generations of embedded postmodernity in academia. And that's had an impact on everything, especially entertainment, from creatives to the talent to the executives, especially the executives that all come from Ivy League business schools. The postmodernity thing is 2 to 3 generations embedded because of academia. I can see this from my cheap seats. I can, yeah. And guess what? Postmodernists don't like that. They're going to try to gaslight you. They're going to say, oh, that's a straw man. What is a straw man? Do you even know what a straw man is besides being some clickbaity kind of modern thing to say? A straw man is a cheap ploy in an article, in an argument, but everyone kind of uses it prima facie at the beginning of an argument because it simplifies. What it does, it takes your argument or what you're arguing against, you oversimplify it to a panoply, to a caricature of it. And so it's not really a person. It's a straw man, and to scare crows away. You know what I mean? When you examine, that's not really a person. That's a straw. It's a straw man. It's filled with nothing but straw. So that's like one of these go-to things. But I mean, the straw man isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can be if you're using it as a cudgel when you can't, really defend your. Hello, have a good day, buddy. Don't use a straw man to fight a man's war. Let's put it that way. Don't use a straw man to fight an orc. They catch fire pretty easily. And yeah. So let's get to work. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm grateful and blessed for Robert Meyer Burnett. I'm grateful and blessed for social media in a way too. I mean, it's given me a great filter on bullshit. It's really honed my bullshit meter. I mean, you gotta be really. I've never been more skeptical, and that's a good thing. I'm so skeptical of, especially this in a political year, in an election year. So skeptical about anything anyone says. I mean, we'll save political stuff for Fridays, for Apolitical Friday. But both parties are full of shit, and both parties lie because they want power. That's it. And here we are. It's a Wednesday, a new comic book day. The sun rises. A shield day, a sword day. Talk about Lord of the Rings. That's the Odin speech. Fucking love that scene. I'm a big fan of those Peter Jackson movies. I never was a big fan of Tolkien growing up. The books bored me. I did like The Children of Hurin, though. That was amazing. I got a copy from Amazon where Sir Christopher Lee reads that to me. That was some good shit. But your power comes in agreement. Someone can make a claim, you don't have to agree with it. It's simple. Well, that's what you feel, that's what you believe. Great, I can respect that. But I don't have to believe it. I can respect it, but I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to believe it, though not the way you do. You know? I have my own beliefs, and they should be respected just as much as yours. Seriously, why not? That's what you're looking for, right? But you don't give it? How's that supposed to work? I'm grateful and blessed for this realization and this wisdom. It helps me in my day. So start a gratitude list if you're feeling down. It'll help pick yourself up from the inside out. Every gratitude that you write down is another rung on this ladder that will get you out of that pit. I'm the same person with the same problem, same body, same attitude, same eyes, ears, nose, dinky, poo-poo, toes, stuff like that. I'm a human being. I'm filled with human stuff. But my human stuff is so much more manageable now that I've added gratitude to my life. It's given me purpose because I have perspective. It's reformatted my self-talk, that I'm a friend to myself, that I am the only ally I need. Well, you need friends and you need people in your life, but allyship, the whole strange fascination with postmodern allyship, well, it starts with yourself. See, allies can turn on you. Truces can be broken out of needs, especially for resources. But how often is your own self-talk an enemy or an ally? Now my self-talk is reformatted. Now I ask things such as, how is this helping? And you have to run your anger or your anger will run you. And these seem and feel like newer things in my self-talk. And it gives me a stabilizing effect. I'm so grateful and blessed for that. I really am. I am blessed and grateful for my family, my friends, my faith, my freedom, my health, my union job, a good night's sleep, and a solid breakfast. From there, I elaborate. I have reformatted my heart, soul, and mind to have 8 things to be grateful for as soon as I get up. And I just keep adding to that list of gratitudes. And that is what it keeps me going. It keeps me stable, especially here on this 5-week anniversary day. Well, not an anniversary, that literally means a year. But it's been 5 weeks to the day that I lost my mother to lung cancer. Fuck cancer. Seriously. God bless you all. Namaste. Good luck. We'll be back with more gratitude tomorrow and more shows in the week. Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye-bye.